Good morning. Today we're going to learn a little bit of safety. So what we're going to learn today is we're going to be using for the 5 chairs a material called foam board. So let's talk about the material, then we're going to talk about the tool we're going to use. We're going to talk about safety ideas related to it. So first things first, this is called foam board. This foam board has paper, so it's three pieces: paper, foam board in between the paper, and then paper on the bottom. So it's going to require 3 cuts. Step 1, I'm going to cut through the paper. 2, I'm going to cut through the foam board. And 3, I'm going to cut through the bottom paper. And then it should just fall right off. So before we begin though, I just want to talk about some tricks related to using X-Acto and safety related to it. So first things first, if you look carefully at this X-Acto knife, you're going to actually hold it like a pencil and you want to crowd it on the end. So I'm going to muscle it, I guess. You're going to take your index finger and you're literally going to put your index finger just touching the top of the dull side of the blade. That will not hurt you. You must look at the blade. Put this on the dull side. Now you have control over this tool. Now I'm not even using a foam board. I want to talk about a couple things. So it's kind of like drawing. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold this straight up and down, and I'm literally going to be pulling with my arm touching or my hand touching the pad. That allows me to stop in case I slip. Okay? I'm never going to have my hand on this side ever, so I have ways to stop that. Ever. It's always in the front, so this will be pulling behind. Alright, related to that, let's get started. So here's a piece of foam board that you'll be working with today. Step 1, let's do a little bit of layout. So let's say that today you want to lay out something, so you measure a distance, and then you draw a line. And then literally what you want to do is measure a distance and draw a line. So we're just going to cut out this little square right now. So if you look, we got a square we're going to cut out. To start out with, remember it's 3 cuts. This should fall right out. The idea is this should fall right out. We're going to lay our safety edge on top of it. You're just going to line it right up. You're going to put your hand on the opposite side because this is a T. This is a T shape. So you're going to put your hand on the opposite side. And literally what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to crowd it so your finger's on top, and you're going to pull nice and straight. 1 through the actual paper, 2 through the foam board, and 3 through the paper on the bottom. Then you'll turn, and we'll do the opposite direction. So turn the styrofoam, lay this on top. I went a little bit past if you were curious. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut 1, 2 through the foam board, and 3. And literally I should be able to lift this up and it should fall right out. So you can see that gives you a nice piece, all right? So that's real important to you today. Now what if you wanted this piece to be curved, all right? So if you want this piece to be curved, maybe what you want to do is do something we call scoring. So if we're going to score something, you're going to hold this like a pencil again, you hold it tight. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to use this kind of straight edge maybe. So I'm going to do this with a marker. So I'm going to kind of set down my tool safely in the middle of the top of the table, and I'm going to make a few marks. So in fact, we're just kind of scoring it is drawing parallel lines. So I'm going to put some parallel lines about 1/8 of an inch apart, and what's interesting about that is this is going to make a curve. Now if you got to have a chair that's got a curved back, you're going to really need to know how to do this, right? So, and this would be the part you would not see, by the way. This would be the back side. You'll see a perfect curve in the front. So I'll just kind of leave that right now. Let's try that and see what happens. So you get the idea. So I'm going to hold this. I'm going to keep my fingers away. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to draw like I'm drawing what? On a pencil. I'm going to pull it nice and light, real light and soft. Then I'm going to pull it again to get rid of the foam board. I'm done. I'm going to do the next one. So kind of soft. Notice I am holding the mat. It is key that your fingers are always on the mat. Always on the mat. Next one. I'm drawing. I'm pulling foam board. I don't want to cut 3 times. I only want to cut twice. So I'm going to draw and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to draw and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to show you what I did so far without doing all of them. But if you see this, what you can do is you just open these up a little bit and these become scored. That allows you to do curves. So if I look carefully, I can start curving this object. So if I want to go with a curve, if you look at that, you can see the side view, that's a curve. if you look at the piece, it looks really nice. So the part they would see is all curved, just looking really, really nice. The back side would be scored. So that's an idea for a curve. Now the next thing you're say to yourself is, how do I make a different shape? All right, and so what I'd like to do on the next little video is kind of show you certain things like how to use circle templates, how do I make hexagons, how to make designs. So that's called layout. But one more time, I'd like to go over safety related to the X-Acto knife. Let's talk about if you have a blade that is not working. What you're going to do is, if you got to walk, I'd prefer you come and get me, but if you have to walk over, so you're going to walk with this pointing down, you'll walk over, and I have to put this, go ahead and turn it this way. I have to put this in what's called a safety box, so I'll put the old blade in here. And how you would do that is you're going to literally take this blade, you're going to hold on to the red area, and this back is loose if I turn it. So this knurl, that's called a knurl, that metal, I can turn it, and if I hold on to the front end, this blade becomes loose. You can see I can pull it right out. I would drop it in that container. That's safe for a custodian or an engineer to throw that away. Well, if you have to put a new one on, of course my eyesight is so good, I'm going to put that back in carefully. I'm going to hold on to the blade softly, and then I'm going to kind of tighten. So that's how you would replace a blade. I prefer that you have adult do that, but in this case I wanted to show you how to do it. So I'm going to set that away. Related to the safety one more time. Always remember, take your straight edge, put your hand on the back side of the T-square, then take this X-Acto knife and hold it like a pencil, crowd it to the end, and this on top. And what it is three. Now notice I'm sliding with the green cutting mat. I am feeling the cutting mat every time I cut. Foam, and then the paper. And literally that should fall right off. So that was one trick. Sometimes when you're making something, you're going to make one long piece so you can cut a lot of little pieces out. So don't forget that. When you're done with this and you're not using the X-Acto knife, please put it at the top of your cutting board. So for now, that's a quick little safety tip. And we'll go over a little bit of the layout on the next video. So that's enough. You can cut it off.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.